What's up, guys? Your boy, 22K13. Gonna talk about 10 best wrestling matches of 2015 so far. This comes from WhatCulture.com. Over the years in pro wrestling, much has been written about exactly what makes a 5-star match. The age-old system of rating about a 5 is still prevalent, and it's not uncommon to hear fans use the phrase even today. In truth, it's hard to know specifically what needs to happen in a wrestling match to warrant the acclaim of 5 stars, because the whole argument is wholly subjective. For example, traditionally during the internet age, the rating had been used to signify that the match was enjoyable because of actual technical wrestling, rather than weapon-based drama or even the star power of the grappler involved. Kurt Angle vs. Chris Benoit from the 2003 Royal Rumble pay-per-view is one such notable case, because both men pieced together a wonderful showcase of wrestling, making it look like a struggle rather than a pair of stuntmen going through the motion. On the flip side, 5-star ratings can often be handed out because of those Ring of Honor style false finishing, leading to bigger and better high spots. Basically, trying to govern exactly why matches are worthy of 5 stars can be pretty hazy. 2015 has already been stacked full of awesome matches, and this list aims to look at 10 of the best from WWE, TNA, ROH, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Number 10, EC3 vs. Rockstar Spud, TNA Impact Wrestling, March 13th. It's perhaps surprising that this is the only TNA match featured on the list, because while the company hasn't exactly been firing on all cylinders in 2015, there have been some pretty enjoyable bouts. Sadly, the entire promotion is just coming across as really small and uninspiring, which made the task set before both Ethan Carter III and Rockstar Spud all the more done this past March. The story leading up to this Hell vs. Hell collision has been fairly drawn out, but still pretty simple, something crucial to ensuring that fan interest remains throughout. In short, EC3 and Spud had previously been pals, but Carter started to abuse the friendship, slowly but surely turning the diminutive Spud into a sympathetic underdog babyface. In this match on Impact Wrestling, there was blood, drama, and a whole load of support for the Brit, who would eventually come up short and have his head shaved. The story was critical here, and helped elevate this TV match above average and make it one of the most dramatic, exciting brawls of 2015, and a definite highlight of TNA's year this far. Number 9, Intercontinental Title Ladder Match, WWE WrestleMania 31. Given that this match took place on the grand stage of WrestleMania, it seemed only natural that absolutely everyone involved did their best to show off what they could do. Heading into the bout, Bad News Barrett, not quite a king yet, was Intercontinental Champion, but that wouldn't be the end result. And a match also involving Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, R-Truth, Stardust, and Daniel Bryan, it'd be the latter who would walk away with the gold. Multi-man ladder matches are normally exciting, but there was a palpable feeling about this one, because it kicked off the pay-per-view portion of the show. Fans were enthralled by what they were seeing, and brutal bumps, such as Dean Ambrose taking a hellish-looking powerbomb onto a ladder onto the outside of the ring, only heightening the sense of danger. One of the absolute best features of this bout was that every entry really came across like they'd do anything to win the Intercontinental title, which only made the belt look stronger. Of course, the fact that the winner was Daniel Bryan didn't hurt, because that only helped make the strap look more important. It's sad that Bryan didn't get to really have a lengthy run with the title, because this was a fantastic start to his reign. Number 8, AJ Styles and the Young Bucks vs. Michael Bennett, Matt Taven, and Adam Cole, all 8 best in the world 2015. Ring of Honor had often, much like TNA, been a divided company over the years. There was once an overwhelming sense that any magic the promotion once possessed had been lost, but that argument doesn't really fit in 2015. In many respects, it's hard to know what people were expecting from ROH, because even during their lowest ebb, the group had promoted stellar wrestling matches. One of the more recent additions to this list, this six-man tag team effort from the Best in the World 2015 event, really deserves a look in for those fans who have maybe stepped away from Ring of Honor in recent years. The Bullet Club, Styles, and the Young Bucks have been tearing it up in both New Japan Pro Wrestling and now ROH. In the Kingdom, Bennett, Taven, and Cole were the ideal opponent for the trio. AJ Styles is one wrestler who has seemingly become more excited about wrestling again since leaving TNA, and that was evident here. Ring of Honor shows, while fun, can often throw up a mixed bag of action, but this multi-man affair is more than worth it. Fans of smooth, fast-moving wrestling should look no further than this, and it's worth it even just to see the endless potential of guys like Cole and Taven. Number 7. John Cena vs. Brock Lesnar vs. Seth Rollins, WWE Royal Rumble 2015. The earliest match of the year featured here. It's fair to say that there were a lot of people unsure of what to expect from such a wild mix of style. John Cena and Brock Lesnar had earlier worked so well against one another in 2014, as well as years before in 2012, but adding the dynamic Seth Rollins into the picture made for a rather intriguing wild card situation. In truth, aside from this WWE title match and the Royal Rumble itself, the pay-per-view had a pretty weak lineup. The Ascension vs. the New Age Outlaw went just over 5 minutes in the opener, for example, and it still stands as one of the worst WWE Super Show of the year. Thankfully, Rollins, Lesnar, and Cena saved the day, providing just over 20 minutes of thrill and spiel. For his part, Rollins didn't simply fulfill the role many expected him to, which would be akin to a fly being routinely swatted away at its attempt to muscle in on a fight between a pair of bulls. Instead, he played a pivotal role in the bout, proving his worth as a genuine headliner in WWE. Lesnar would leave Theo the champion, but not before leaving it all in the ring with his peers, reminding people why they had tuned into such a pedestrian show in the first place. Number 6. Finn Balor vs. Adrian Neville, NXT TakeOver Rival. WWE has rightly been praised for how they turned NXT into a breeding ground of excellence over the past few years. It's been said that the rise of the Shield on the main roster and the success they experienced has helped pave the way for others to be taken more seriously, but it's impossible not to recognize the talent of men like Neville and Finn Balor. It was both those men who would light up the crowd for their match at NXT TakeOver Rival in February, an bout designed to determine who will become the number one contender for the NXT heavyweight title. Truly, there were a ton of high flying, because that's what has really brought both Neville and Balor to the dance, as Pac and Virgil David respectively. Killer counter move and intuitive sequence apparently were also the order of the day. This was like watching poetry in motion. Neville had already made the jump up to the main WWE roster, and it shouldn't be too long before Balor joined him there. When he does, critics could do a lot worse than programming these men opposite one another. A title doesn't even need to be involved. Just give them the 15 minutes they were afforded here and watch jaw drop. Number 5. Seth Rollins vs. Dean Ambrose, WWE Money in the Bank. Speaking of the Shield, both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were key components in the faction, one which was the hottest group in years to hit the WWE scene. It's been obvious to see the relationship behind the scenes that both guys have been acknowledging their one-on-one matches, because there's such a level of chemistry there that would be impossible without effective communication. that natural mechanism came to the fore once again at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, handing the job of delighting fans in the main event and closing the show out effectively. Rollins and Ambrose had a sterling battle for the WWE World Heavyweight title in a keenly contested ladder match, putting one another through hell. There was an old-school vibe to this one with just plain rock. Not even a cop-out finish could derail the fact that this was an excellent match. Both Rollins and Ambrose fought atop a ladder to try and wrestle the title from the other grasp, but it would be the reigning champ Rollins who would emerge victorious, managed to land on the canvas with the belt in his hand. To date, these men have contested Hell in a Cell matches and street fights, but this may have been their best. Number 4, AJ Styles vs. Hiroshi Takahashi. New Japan Pro Wrestling, The New Beginning. As aforementioned, AJ Styles has been a revelation to New Japan Pro Wrestling since signing on with the company in the spring month of 2014. This match at the New Beginning in Osaka event this past February was not the first time that Styles had locked horns with Hiroshi Takahashi. Takahashi had ended AJ's first run with the IWGP Heavyweight title at King of Pro Wrestling in October 2014. If that match was considered a corker, fans hadn't seen anything yet from Styles and the record-setting Japanese wrestler. At the New Beginning, the pair constructed 26 minutes of sheer grappling beauty and seemed to be a perfect blend when working alongside one another. Aided by his cohort and the Bullet Club, it'd be AJ Styles who would lead with the IWGP title, starting his second reign with the belt. Already, enthusiasts are clamoring for another battle between these guys, because the previous meetings have yielded some of the best wrestling this year. Takahashi is considered a legend in New Japan, but Styles is quickly positioning himself as one of the best American performers to ever ply his trade, opposite the man. Number 3, Kevin Owens vs. Sami Zayn, NXT TakeOver Rival. At Ring of Honor Final Battle Show in December 2010, the then El Genero and Kevin Steen produced one of the best brawls of the entire calendar year. It was a match contested for Genero mask or Steen always contract, and the masked man would come out on top. Fast forward to 2015, and both men were still ripping up arenas together, only on a much bigger platform. As Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, the real-life friends have been able to show in NXT, what everybody on the U.S. independent scene was talking about just under 5 years ago. At NXT TakeOver Rival, in an event also featuring the terrific Finn Balor vs. Neville contest from this very list, Owens and Zayn were given just over 20 minutes to main event the show, and boy, did they deliver in a big way. Everything about the bout had fans in rapture, creating a very special atmosphere that nicely differentiates NXT from everything else WWE presents. That's a good thing, as is booking Owens vs. Zayn as often as humanly possible. A follow-up match between both men from NXT TakeOver Unstoppable was also good, but it couldn't hold a candle to the one at TakeOver Rival. Number 2, Shinsuke Nakamura vs. Kota Ibushi. New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 9. It was clear just by listening to legendary wrestling announcer Jim Ross discussing the show on his podcast in late 2014 that he didn't really have much of a clue who many of the talent on the annual Tokyo Dome event produced by New Japan Pro Wrestling was. In fairness to the man, he surely deserved to be cut some slack, because even though he was only offered a few months of preparation for his commentary gig in Japan, he did an admirable job of calling the action alongside Matt Striker. Just as obvious young sense of awe when Shimizu Nakamura and Kota Ibushi lock up was exciting for wrestling fans to hear. A lot of people were tuning into their first ever Wrestle Kingdom event this past January, and Ross was likely among those experiencing the entire show for the first time. Simply put, the action was gripping, and more than just a little bit stunning. Hiroshi Takahashi and Katsushika Okada may have been a worthy headliner for the show, but it was the IWGP Intercontinental title bout between Nakamura and Ibushi that had the main eventer sweating. Going on second to last, both wrestlers gave their all, displaying an exhibition of the best that Puroresu had to offer. Ibushi using a lot of Nakamura's signature offensive move against him with a nice touch, and this is a must-watch. And number 1, John Cena vs. Kevin Owens, WWE Elimination Chamber. John Cena is a man often heavily criticized, but the fact remains that the man can really produce gold when he's in the mood, or maybe more crucially, working against someone motivated who can hide his weaknesses effectively. No, Cena would never be a technical wrestling marvel, but he does understand how to create WWE-style drama, something which is obvious when watching his match at Elimination Chamber against Kevin Owens. Being honest, while a lot of more hardcore wrestling fans were excited to see what Owens could achieve in the WWE system, many more casual fans simply didn't have a clue who he was. That was the case right up until his first match against John Cena, who helped make the relevant newcomer look like $1,000,000 right out of the gate. Showing his remarkable ability for a larger athlete, Owens looked like a complete star at Elimination Chamber, and WWE, much to their credit, have continued to portray him as a real threat to more seasoned members of the promotion main roster. In 2015, WWE may still be hearing that they don't push enough wrestlers properly, but they've been brilliant in handling Kevin Owens, allowing him to create in-ring magic, such as this against one of the franchise players. But that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.